welcome Daniel Jang with a speech titled A Fork in the Road. A Fork in the Road, Daniel Jang.
Can you think of a moment in life when you had to make an important decision? The choices we make in those moments can define the rest of our days. And for some choices, there is no turning back. When I was 8 years old, my dad made one such choice. I had spent my childhood in South Korea. Although I have forgotten many things from my early years, there is one moment so vivid in my memory, like an epic scene from a movie. It was the most terrified look on my father's face. What exactly had happened? Let's go back in time to find out. My dad and my uncle took their little kids from the countryside to the capital city of Seoul. My cousins, my then 6-year-old sister, and I were so excited because we were able to travel by train for 5 hours, eat delicious cakes, and go to the big city to explore. But there was an old saying: in the blink of an eye, someone will cut your nose. What does it mean? It means that one has to be careful in a big city, especially for unrefined country folks. We should pay attention to the pickpockets, scammers, and even kidnappers. Oh yes, there were kidnappers back in those days, and some children had gone missing. After we got off at Yeongdeungpo station, which was a big hub with hundreds of thousands people pass through each day, Dad told us to hold our hands together when walking. We left the exit gate and went through the underground passage. We were walking back and forth like a pendulum, dazzled by all the interesting things we saw along the way. It was not easy for my dad and my uncle to keep us together. When we finally arrived at the bus stop, my dad exclaimed, "Elder brother, where is my daughter?" "Huh? I don't know. I thought she walked with you." "Oh no!" Dad was absolutely terrified. He shouted, "Brother, please wait here with all the other kids." He quickly ran down the underpass. There were a lot of people. My dad was so disheartened. How could I find my daughter in such a busy place? He could not breathe. Soon he arrived at a crossroad with 3 paths. With no time to think, my dad simply took the straight path. With tears in his eyes, he thought, what if this was the wrong direction? Then he suddenly spotted his daughter's clothing among the crowd. He ran to the little girl with all his might. But it was not my sister. His hope turned into disappointment. But he pressed on. Walking fast and furious, he saw in a distance another little girl with the same color clothing. This time, he found his daughter. But walking alone and crying, he hugged her so tight All is okay now, sweetheart. Never let go of my hand again, okay? When my dad recounted this experience from his old and faded diary, he was once again in tears. The moment he found his daughter, nothing else in the world mattered to him. He stumbled upon leaflets of missing children at the station. Can you imagine looking at those while running around trying to find your own daughter who had just gone missing in a big station? He even saw one man handing out a flyer about his son who had gone missing for 3 years. Dad told me it was a fork in the road. If he went to another direction at that crossroad, he might never have found his daughter. It would have devastated the rest of his life with deep sorrow and loss. Today, it is one of his most treasured life memories. As his eyewitness, I know it is indeed true. Dad is ever so grateful that he had found his daughter back then. Life could have been so different if he hadn't, if he took a different turn at that crossroad. Ladies and gentlemen, we all have a life-defining moment. There is a fork in the road up ahead. Which way would you go? Madam Contest Chair.
It gives me tremendous pleasure to be able to announce the place getters in our contest and to thank everyone who's taken part. And in first place, big round of applause or waving of hands. I think everyone can unmute themselves. Daniel. Well done, Daniel. I can't stand it. Please, everyone unmute yourselves. Giant round of applause. Come on. Proper applause.